Hey, what's up? It's Emily from Make Tech Work for You. And I've been playing around today with some really fun formulas in spreadsheets, and I think this affects everyone, so I wanted to share it. What we've got here is some information about expenses, purchases, credit cards. So we've got the timestamp of when the purchase was made, the random merchant that it was made to, the random amount, and the random people in this case, but for us, they're not going to be random when you're really doing this. And we have a need to match up email addresses that come from our vendor that does all our expenses to this list of email addresses and names that we've got over here. So how would we do that? Typically, we do a VLOOKUP, right? Find the email address. That's what we're doing in our VLOOKUP. Find what's in L2, find it over here in column A, and bring me what's in column D. And I'm doing a funky little trick here with the brackets and making this a little bit of a nicer VLOOKUP formula. Happy to chat about that at any time, but that's not the point of this video. Point of this video is you have to pull that down. You have to drag that formula all the way down. And it's really fun that when you drag it down, it does update what it's looking at. So each new cell is looking at the next cell in the line, right? L10, L11, L12, L13. Wonderful. That's what we want it to do. A couple of issues with that. If you paste in new data, like next month's data about purchases, and you haven't pulled your formula down, then when you put in those purchases, you're not going to get the data that you need there. But you did see it pop up for the other two columns I've got going, which are array formulas. And array formulas, they just start at the top. There's just one formula in there. And if you scroll down, it looks like text. It's not a formula. It looks like text. It is text. You can't type over it because your first formula is trying to write values down. So you can't type over those values. Your formula won't overwrite what you yourself type in. But if you don't overwrite there, then you get to see all your data by only writing one formula. The difference is we wrapped the array formula around our VLOOKUP, and we changed our VLOOKUP from looking at just one cell, L2, to looking at the entire range, L2 through L infinite, the end of L, as far down as it can go. There we go. It's highlighting all the way down. It's looking all the way down. So that's fun. And the other benefit here is that if you are navigating with your keyboard, which you should be, then you can hit Control or Command and your down arrow. And if you do that in your pull down formula, you get taken all the way to the bottom of where the last formula is because all of these cells have something in it. They have a formula in it. If you do that over here in your array formula, then just like with your raw data, you will get stopped by each new blank row, which is a really great way to help you navigate and see where you're missing data or information. So I really like that about array formulas. Also, if you decide you need to make a change, you only do it in one place. You don't have to drag down again. Let's say I only want to look through the first 50. So I just limit it to 50, and then my arrays, I only have 49 rows, great. Let me limit it to 20. Now I'm only looking at the first 20. So you can control everything up here in your formula. I really like that. One way, oops, I just changed it to 1. Let me get back to putting it through the whole thing. So one other way that I wanted to show you could use array formulas is in if statements. So the array formula is around here, and we're saying we're trying to change this timestamp into just the month, the number of the month that it's in. So we're using the month formula, and we're saying if the year, using the year formula, if you find the year is 2021, great, give us what the month is. If not, we don't even want to be considering stuff not from 2021. So if we changed one of these to 2020, we would see that value disappear because our if statement up here says you're looking at that whole range. And how are we going to choose that we're looking at each and every cell different? It's the array formula. It's wrapped around our if statement. And typically your if statement would just say, if A2 is 2021, and if A2 is the month, and we'd drag it down and it would go A2, A3, A4, A5, but here we're using the range A2 through A3000 and putting the array formula around it. Lots of great benefits. Array formulas are fun. They take a little bit of processing power, and getting used to, and making sure folks know not to type over them. But when you use them, they can give you a great benefit over the pull down formulas. All right. Hope this is helpful in some of your work. Let me know if you have any questions.